Hey guys, it's your boy Ty, and I have absolutely no idea what's happening in this game. If Doom 2016 was the depth of the very hungry caterpillar, then Doom Eternal is War and Peace. This time around, the Doom guy leaves the survival horror atmosphere of the previous title and goes for more of a I forgot my pills so I took them all at once, and then chased them with a Red Bull gameplay style. Each fight with the demon scum is incredibly overwhelming. You'll feel like you have gone into the Starfield Reddit and told them a based opinion. Meet 5 different gods throughout your journey into several different lost civilizations. These maps look so good. It's a shame I'm going at Sonic Unleashed speeds and I don't get to see them. Then why not top off your journey with meeting the God of Gods? You. Because if there's one thing I want to rip and tear through more than the demons, it's myself. We have more guns, more power-ups, more dialogue. This time we even have more washboard abs. Dear God, you could grate a demon on these things. But most importantly, we're Spider-Man.
I'm Spider-Man.
Hey guys, did you know that when you buy this soundtrack, it has a game attached to it? Well, let's check it out, and before we dive in, I have one more thing to say. Anime waifus may be temporary, but wood is eternal. Doom Eternal follows on 4 years from Doom 2016, and gamers were super excited to see the Doom guy return to their consoles. And it's not surprising, Doom 2016 sold over 5.5 million copies on Steam alone. Holy, that is impressive. If you guys haven't seen it, we checked out the previous title in the series, Doom 2016, on the channel. So go check that out, click the buttons, subscribe and like, all that good stuff. But this time, the developers set out to try and improve on everything Doom 2016 did. And honestly, to some, they absolutely accomplished that. Others might say it doesn't quite hold up to the original reboot. Me, I'm kind of on the fence on this one because I agree in terms of gameplay, the much faster paced action and the new gimmicks and mechanics, way more fun, absolutely love it. Honestly, in some ways, I find it kind of hard to go back to Doom 2016. Losing the meat hook and the dashes almost makes it unplayable, I'm not gonna lie. But I do miss the more grounded and grittiness of the 2016 title and the far more digestible story. But we're not here to talk about that game, we're here to talk about Eternal. And man, this game had an interesting launch. It shared the same launch day as Animal Crossing, and the internet loved it. You literally can't search Doom Eternal on Google without seeing pictures of their collab. So Eternal gets a lot of things right, but I do dislike some changes they've done for the game. The more arcadey aesthetic, with the armor and health pickups looking more like they're ripped straight out of the original title. Look, I know that's the point, but I preferred how grounded 2016 felt. Finding a weapon in that game was literally pulling it off a dead corpse. It was grounded in some sort of reality. Doom Eternal goes for more of a Quake deathmatch style where you find these guns as like a hologram in the world and it just doesn't make sense. I don't know, it's a little pet peeve, I just wanted to get that out there. I mean, come on, the collectibles being question marks, that's just lazy. But the rhythm of this game, my god, the rhythm is amazing. Everything ties into the shooting mechanic. You don't find yourself using your favorite guns or a combination of the guns that you like. You use everything in this game. Separate mods are used to defeat certain different types of enemies. Enemies now have weak points that only certain guns can destroy. Hell, you even have enemies that give you a debuff and then run away. I fucking hate these guys. But when you bring this all together, when Doom Guy is fully equipped, you are a symphony of death and destruction. You're no longer playing a boomer shooter, you're playing Guitar Hero. And every chord is a different gun. Like I said in the previous video, we are diving into these games because I have a sneaking suspicion that Xbox are going to announce a new Doom title very soon. And if they don't, I mean, I'll just look like an idiot. But there's a few things floating around, like the title being the Dark Ages, and it could be going for like a more medieval style aesthetic, which would be cool. It would be like Evil Dead 3 Army of Darkness. That would be hype. But going back and looking at both these games, for some reason I can't decide which title I like the most. And going by the comments I've seen on the previous video, you guys can't either. A lot of people are either Team 2016 or Team Eternal. And it's so refreshing to see people on opposite sides, but not actively criticizing each other like the Fallout community. You guys respect each other and get where both sides are coming from. You just can't decide for yourself, or you've decided which one's better for yourself. It's so refreshing to see. So before I decide, let's take a look at the absolutely mental story I am 100% going to get wrong in Doom Eternal, and let's see if it was really that good. So we last saw Doom Guy getting blasted off again by Samuel Hayden at the end of Doom 2016. Now while he's off somewhere doing something, seriously, I can't find any information on what Doom Guy is doing prior to this game's opening. I don't know, maybe he's playing Animal Crossing. Anyway, Earth gets overrun by demons. You see, that door they opened on Mars was basically like offering free Genshin Impact gear at a local KFC. Samuel, after being a complete dick in the last game, heads back to Earth and decides to help the resistance and stop the demons. Unfortunately, he falls in battle. It was probably around this point he realized he sent Earth's best bet at winning this fight in a timeout, but whatever. It doesn't matter because Doom Guy arrives to save the day. In his, hold on, let me check my notes, Fortress of Doom. Jesus. Powered by our boy Vega. So it looks like it's time to rip and tear again, and we need to kill off these hell priests to stop the invasion of Earth. I like it. I really hope the story stays this simple. We head down to Earth and it's looking a lot more Caelid than I remember. And dear God, why does this game feel so bad to play? Honestly, I remember being super put off by this game when it first launched on PC. And rightly so, the aim smoothing is out of control. It probably isn't shown too much in the video, but my God, does it feel horrible. Now there are a few fixes, and this took me about 30 minutes to figure out, and I'm going to share them with you. First is motion blur. That shit needs to be off, and it should always be off. Don't play with motion blur, people. The second is under controller inputs. Turn off the smoothing, because even though you're playing on mouse and keyboard, it's still affecting your aim for some reason. My God, how was this not patched? Now doing that will sort out most of the issues, about 80% I would say. But the only way to completely remove it and take it back to that silky, smooth gameplay from Doom 2016, I had to play in borderless window mode. Now I don't know if these fixes will work for you or if you have any issues to begin with. I did, and this is how I sorted it. We relearn the ropes and we take out our first Hell Priest.
Remains guarded. Oh, really, dude?
And meet the Khan Maker. She is part of a celestial race that looks very angelic. Or how did Maxwell put it?
Every 10,000 years, all moths combine their collective consciousness into one gigamoth called the Khan Maker.
Yeah, that checks out. She is absolutely bricking it that the Doom Guy is here and moves all of the other Hell Priests into hiding. I love that we've only been on the board for a few seconds and they're already retreating. It's about respect. So to find the other Hell Priests, we need to find a celestial locator. So we teleport to Exaltia to find one. Exaltia is a Sentinel planet. You know those homies from 2016? Yeah, they live here. They have cool ghost wolves. And I have to give it major props here. I love the game's different backdrops. The maps look so good in this game. 2016, if I had to describe it in one word, it would be red. Maybe orange. One of my main issues with that game was that Mars and Hell didn't really look that different. That's not the case in Doom Eternal. Anyway, we find the locator, or the Apple of Eden, but we need to power this bad boy, so we head over to Hell to meet this cool guy, Valen. Now he says something about betraying us before and he's sorry, and he just basically just does a lore dump.
I told you all to leave me here. I am where I belong. Saving your people will not bring you peace. Only make the burden you carry worse. It is your people's time now to give penance. Just as it was mine.
I don't care. Give me the thing. Thanks to Valen, we are able to locate the next priest. Turns out this priest is in a factory. And this level is of note because apparently this is where they have been hiding Doomguy's super shoddy this whole time. And that's good to know because Doomguy has been missing that bad boy. Like, they actually put it in prison. They're that scared of this thing. And we take him out.
The beast! Does he not seek enhanced power? Gifts to aid him in his noble conquest.
How about no?
The Great Khan gets more and more worried as we cross off names on our kill list.
This game has gone far enough.
She decides to super hide the last priest. The tracker is pretty useless now. Vega suggests finding Samuel Hayden as he might know what to do next. Man, do we really have to? The guy's a dick. Which is ironic because, well, you know. We head out and we find him and the Crucible from the first game and carefully plug him into our ship. But not before fighting off against the first Marauder. Oh boy, the Marauders. A lot of people at launch were pissed off that these guys were so strong. I also love they take a principle from the Dark Souls games by making a boss out of this guy, and then he just becomes a regular demon to fight. And my god, they are tough. These guys have such a small sweet spot to get a stun on them. If you're too far out, they'll throw these like Getsuga Tenshos at you or whatever the fuck these are. And if you're too close, he will bust out his own super shotgun. So there's this sweet spot in between that where you can actually stun him when he goes for a sword attack. That's literally the only way you're doing damage to this guy, because other than that, he has a shield and nothing hurts him. I really hope we only have to fight one of these guys at a time.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Once Samuel Hayden is plugged into the ship, he is activated, and I love how neither of these two mention the big-ass betrayal on Mars. It's like a massive elephant in the room. Samuel tells us the last priest is in the city of Sentinel Prime on Argent D'Nur, which is conveniently only accessed through a portal in the center of Mars. Why? Fuck if I know. Doomguy, being one to quite often brute force a solution to his problems, has an idea that of course Samuel doesn't like.
I understand. Searching the coordinates to the BFG 10,000 now.
You can't just shoot a hole into the surface of Mars.
Bet. We head to Sentinel Prime and kill off the last priest.
This stops nothing. Earth will be consumed, regardless of what.
But doing this on holy ground upsets the Sentinels and gets Doomguy kicked out of their little club. Doomguy isn't too upset about this, and I'm pretty sure the only reason he worked with them in the past was because it helped him kill demons. I don't think he cared too much.
The portal is ready. We should leave immediately.
We head back to the ship and the Khan Maker invades and locks down the ship for all of 2 seconds. Honestly, she forgot I had a BFG.
This stronghold will now serve as your prison. With no power, you can do no more harm to our mission, and we may continue the work that must be done.
It does mean we have to use the Crucible as a power source, which means we need to go find another one. Samuel Hayden, apparently knowing the Doomslayer's complete history, tells us we need to head back to Argent D'Nur to find our original Crucible that we used on a Titan years ago, as the Doomguy used to work with the Sentinels to fight off demons on their planet and other dimensions before he went down to hell and made it into a sport. It's here where we get some backstory on the Doom Guy, and we get confirmation that his name is in fact the Doom Guy. We also learn that even though he's built like a brick house, he needed the Seraphim, this random guy, to roid him up so he could take on the demons. That's why he's so powerful and why they're so scared. The dude is on the juice. Anyway, we do this, we got our sword back, it's all fun and games, and the priests are dead. So the invasion stopped, right? Well, yeah, but the Moth people aren't too happy about it. So they've gone to plan B, which is to wake up the Icon of Sin, this giant robot goat. What is this game? Well, we don't want a giant goat and a bunch of demons back on Earth, so we head to Urdak, the home of the Makers, and we use the thing we got from the guy to break control that the Makers have on the Icon of Sin. Now, unfortunately, this kind of makes it into a free-for-all and everyone's panicking. Because the Icon of Sin now can do what he wants and he decides to go to Earth. Damn it, that was the one thing I was trying not to do. To get off Urdak, we need to plug Vega into this machine here so he can make a portal. By doing this, he becomes a god or something.
Now, insert Vega to activate the portal.
System acquired. Setting course for the Earth dimension now.
Active. Now. And I, the Father, apprehend.
Oh my god, what the fuck? Hell starts taking over the Maker's world and the Khan Maker decides to fight us. We sit her ass down immediately.
You undestroyed all that I was meant to ruin. And all just to retain them. In service to our beliefs.
There was a reason why you were scared of me at the start of the game. Think, Moth Lady. Having defeated her, we dip back to Earth and chase this literal embodiment of sin through a city. And we get to the boss fight where we have to undress him. Basically, we need to take his armor off and then destroy his flesh to take him out. It's a pretty manic boss fight. There's a lot of enemies you have to deal with while trying to do this. It's good. Honestly, it's a really good boss fight. Way better than the brain thing from 2016. I'm not gonna lie. But after shooting his crotch a couple of times, we deliver our final blow. That's the end of the base game. I guess we did it. Kind of bittersweet, right? Well, luckily we got 2 pieces of DLC that came out after the original launch. And those DLCs being The Ancient Gods Part 1 and Part 2. So the demons are not just in Hell and Earth now. Thanks to us taking out the Icon of Sin, they are in every goddamn dimension now. Doom Guy has had it up to here with it all, to be perfectly honest. Samuel suggests finding the Seraphim. This guy is literally the reason Doom Guy is so powerful in the first place, as we got in a flashback earlier in the game. So he might be worth banding together with to try and stop the demons once and for all. We find the Seraphim. Samuel tells us to upload his consciousness into this godlike being. This in fact reveals that Samuel was always the Seraphim and was not a random human/robot we were led to believe on Mars.
I am going to transfer my consciousness into the device. We have been allies for some time now. I knew who you were the moment you set foot in our world, and who you could become to us. I brought you to the Divinity Machine and gave you your power. Where would all of this be now had I not had the foresight to create you?
Honestly, we're not even at the worst of it yet, and this plot is so convoluted. I don't even know if I'm breaking it down well enough or not. I'm struggling to understand my own notes about the story. This is mental. Samuel instructs us to go find the Orb of the Father to pay respect before wiping out the demons. And of course, this being Samuel now, we literally do the exact opposite to what he wanted us to do.
This is the Father's sphere. He will save me.
Doomguy is a simple man. He has only two loves in this world: killing demons and fucking with Samuel. By destroying this orb, the Dark Lord's orb appears before us, and we can use this to summon and destroy the Dark Lord. If we do this, every demon outside of hell gets destroyed. One kill equals all demons destroyed. This sounded like an absolute bargain to the Doomslayer. He heads off and gives the Dark Lord life, not before fucking with Samuel one last time. So no more pranking Samuel. This time we are taking him out for good, and his boss fight sucks, man. I hate this boss fight. It's probably one of the most agonizing boss fights I've done in recent games, honestly. The fight with him one-on-one is actually pretty simple, very much the same as the Great Khan. But halfway through the fight, he will stop and he'll put two of these spirits into demons that you have to deal with before you can even touch him. And he does this 3 times, and each time those demons get stronger and stronger. It gets a little bit too much towards the end. And just to be a troll, he moves the platforms around like it's a Mario level. Honestly, taking this guy out is super satisfying. Fuck you, Samuel. We awaken the evil, and it turns out that it's us?
It is you.
Who are you?
You.
No, not me, you.
Yes, I am you.
Just answer the damn questions. Who are you?
I have told you.
Are you deaf?
No, you is blind.
I'm not blind, you blind.
That is what I just said.
You just said what?
I did not say what. I said you.
That's what I'm asking you.
And you is answering.
Shut up!
I'm not gonna lie, I have no idea what's happening anymore. He tells us he will fight us in ritual combat, and the fight will determine the future of, well, everything. So we head back to hell, and honestly, this endgame looking fight here is pretty fire, I'm not gonna lie. We blast through this giant war zone and we get to the Dark Lord, who reveals that he isn't just the devil, but he's actually God, the creator, the first being. What?
He is the first being and my creator. When he fell, I ascended.
They lied to you, Slayer. Gamora and its people would have been perfect, if not for the treachery of my servants. They sealed me away, stole my power and name. And now, the time has come for a reckoning.
The whole time, Doomslayer is just foaming in the mouth. He just wants a fight. He does not give a shit. Doomguy bitch slaps a god. And then the Dark Lord asks him if he has anything to say to his creator.
Tell me, have you nothing to say to your creator before you strike him down?
Rip and tear.
Actually, he gives probably the most badass no ever said in video games. With the Dark Lord destroyed, the Space Marine passes out and the Makers put him back into his box to continue his TikTok binge until he is needed again. And that's the story of Doom Eternal. I really see why people play this game for the gameplay and nothing else. The story is there. There's an online mode as well called Horde mode, which is pretty fun. It has one Doomslayer going up against 2 demons, both sides trying to kill each other before time ends. It's a couple of rounds and you get some upgrades in between. Honestly, I thought it was quite fun. I enjoyed it, but I do feel a real lack of standard multiplayer here. I now see why people gravitate back to Doom 2016 for that online mode. as that's more of the experience I would expect from a FPS title, but hey, at least they made something new and unique. That's pretty good for developers nowadays. I love playing through Doom 2016 and Eternal. These are absolutely glorified titles, and honestly, they live up to the hype. I do feel like I prefer Doom 2016 more, just as a complete package, but Eternal completely changed up the gameplay to perfection. And honestly, it's just some aesthetic choices and the lore dumpy on this game. Dear Lord, the lore dumpy is huge. It's too much for this little Brit to handle. So was Doom Eternal really that good? Well, yes, of course. But like I said, I don't think it's better than Doom 2016. It's personal preference, but I truly believe the more horror and survival aspect of that game fits the Doom franchise more than this Warhammer-esque story, to be honest. There's too much going on, too much new stuff is added in constantly while you're playing the game. I liked how bare bones Doom 2016 was, because it meant I could just focus on the gameplay, not trying to piece together every little bit of lore, like I'm investigating a serial killer. Like I said before though, it's not a massive criticism for this game, it's just something out of personal preference. It's still a fantastic title, and honestly, I wouldn't recommend playing one over the other. This is definitely a franchise that you'd want to play 2016 into Eternal. I just hope they do go for a bit more of a horror aesthetic in the possibly new title that will be coming out. I honestly can't wait to see where the series goes from here, and hopefully we will have an idea of that soon if Microsoft don't drop the ball again. I would like to give a massive shout out to my Patreons, Pitstab and Ali Tato. You guys are the meat hook planted directly in my heart. Thank you so much. And the rest of you guys, if you'd like to support the channel, the best way to do that, well, is liking the video and subscribing. But if you want to go above and beyond, the Patreon really does help me in not going broke. So, links in the description. But for anyone who's made it this far in the video, thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one. And the next one's gonna be a big one. Jesus. I'll see you guys then. Tie out. Peace.